Go on. Ask me why I'm out late in the evening doing a review. Go on, ask me. I've tried to put it off as long as possible. In fact, I really didn't want to do this review, but I have got to tell you about this one. First of all, though, you're seriously welcome to a John Legg fragrance review. I love your company, appreciate your visit, and you're in a good place because this is an open-hearted, honest review channel. Okay, let me give you a little bit of a backstory. A few weeks ago, I bought a clone. It was the Pandora Scents, the Paris Corner Scents Baccarat Rouge 540 copy that they do. It was great. It was, it was unmistakably Baccarat Rouge. It wasn't a one-on-one copy, but it was pretty good. But whenever I sprayed it on my skin, it only worked when I heated up, right? I took it to work, let a few people try it. Lovely girl called Scarlett, she tried it, and I tell you what, it worked awesomely on her skin. Wherever she was, it filled the room, it trailed off her, and for about 4 or 5 hours, she rocked this fragrance. And in the end, she said, "Leggy, can I buy it off you?" And I'm like, "You may as well, because it doesn't work for me." So I sold it to her. And she said, "Leggy, I've got another copy of an MFK." She says it's called something like Satin Oud. Do you want to bring it in so you can try it, Leggy? And I was like, "Go on then, bring it in." And she brought it in, showed me that, and I'm like, that looks a bit of a moody sort of clone. And I was instantly like, it might be alright, but I wasn't that interested. She said, "Try it." So I tried it. And I was like, yeah, it smells okay. I'm going to say it's more sort of inspired by than a clone as such. But you know what? I put a spray on there and a spray on there and asked me how long I could smell it for, projecting off my arms. Go on, ask me how long. Man, all day long. Yeah, I've said it. This stuff is an all-day fragrance. And I didn't want to have to say that. In fact, I didn't want to have to say that it's an okay smell as well. Okay. So it is made by Fragrance World. That's a United Arab Emirates company. They've put out a lot of clones, and the bottles quite often look like the real thing as well. So this is a copy of MFK's Satin Oud Mood. Okay. Now, way before lockdown, I actually went to a very expensive department store, and I tried all the different MFKs. And so I'm working on memory now. I'm going to say, like I said, this is more inspired by than actually a decent clone. All right. It picks up on the sort of vanilla and the rose, and it has got the slight sort of tangy floral in there as well, and it's got obviously a lot of amber in there as well. I didn't want to have to say this, but it is actually a fantastic fragrance with unbelievable performance. I'm going to tell you in a moment about the performance again. All right. So, BARAKKAT, it's a double K. Let's see if you can see that properly. There it is. Get this focused. Would help if I was doing it in better daylight. There you go. Satin Oud. The way it's like a vanilla sort of rose fragrance. It's way more vanilla than rose. And I say it's got a bit of amber in there, a little bit of violet in there, and it's okay. It is a silky smooth sort of fragrance. The way that the vanilla and the rose are paired together, it comes across as quite a powdery sort of scent. Okay, you're going to say to me, Leggy, is it unisex? All of MFKs are unisex. 100%. This sits nicely unisex. I smelt it on Scarlett at work, and it smells great on her. And obviously, I've smelt it on my skin, and it smells great on mine. Let me just tell you about the performance of this one. So I'd worn it all day at work because she let me borrow it. I came home and I said, when I get in, I don't know what made me do it, but I just put another couple of sprays on, sort of, because I was enjoying it. I then had dinner. I did a few jobs, and then I went up the road to one of the shops up the road. And I walked up to this shop. It's probably half a mile from here. And got to the shop, went round the shop. And when I got to the checkout, the girl on the checkout said, "Is that you that smells good?" Now, to be fair, there was only me at the checkout, so I sort of went, yeah, it's me, Right, I know. And I hadn't got the heart to tell her what it was, that it was a sort of a £25 fragrance. But she was actually like, "Is that you that smells good?" And I was like, wow, okay. You don't always get this from ones that you've spent twice or three times this amount. Crazy thing was, I got out the shop and I then met one of my neighbours, and then we walked back to the street in which we live, which, we was chatting along the way. And then she said something like, she says, "You always smell good, John." And I said, "What, you can smell it now?" Because it was quite a sort of a breezy sort of day. She says, "Yeah." She says, "I can actually smell it coming off you, and it smells great." And then we got chatting about fragrances, obviously. So for 20, I think she said it was £24. It's the 100ml, made by Fragrance World, and it's called BARAKKAT Satin Oud. It's not a perfect clone of the original MFK. It's definitely inspired by, okay, but its performance is actually solid to the point where it's an all-day fragrance, projecting off you nicely. You sit in a nice scent bubble and it trails off you. So I'm going to say to you, hand on heart, it's kind of worth putting into your collection. All right, don't expect it to be exactly the same as the MFK. There's no way it could be. The MFK's 300 odd pound for a 70ml. But this is a great budget fragrance. And I didn't want to have to tell you this. I wanted to be able to say it's a bit naff and it doesn't last. It's like water. But it's good. Anyway, I really appreciate coming to this video. I'm off to bed now because it is quite late. So please stay safe. Please spray fragrance every single day. And please come back for the next review. Until then, good night.